throughout halls of a Four Seasons loft. In Austin, I saw pause. My eyes crawled to a table. Paralyzed by pairwise dice, then attend to this heaven slice of an angel wrapped in skin. Throw dice and rolls of life. Love deprived, look at her vibe. What's the meaning of life? One subjective paradise, crystal chandeliers, motives reflected. Often mirrors appear clear, gritted from ear to ear. Craving and rating and grain, rekindling the flame. Closer she draws near, stay there. Remove your underwear, shove it somewhere over there. In paradise, we know our purpose. Dreams in paradise. Truth is what you can see.
Boomer. Yes, it is. The truth is what you can see. Hello, everybody. Welcome to this edition of the Unpopular Hour. I'm your host, Matt Clark, and it is Monday, the 22nd, and Christmas is Thursday, 3 days before Christmas. Hope everybody's having a fantastic time and getting ready for Christmas. I know I am. Got to go see Little G this week, so I'm pumped up about that. He wants me to bring his fat boy, his fat boy. He's my fat boy, but he's his fat boy with me, so he can give him some love and follow him around and, baby on him, because that's all he does is just rub on Ace, and Ace that's why I think Ace loves him so much, because he just absolutely rubs on him nonstop. They love each other to no end. So anyway, that being said, it was a crazy week in basketball. Football had some stuff going on yesterday. I don't, it's like it's weird, is that the way that these people on ESPN and Fox or whatever that feel about football, I feel the same way about basketball. I feel the exact same way about basketball as they feel about football. And yesterday when DK Metcalf had his breakdown or whatever you want to call it with the fan. And there's been a lot of controversy, and this guy goes, all I called him was by his name. If you call him by his government name, he's not going to grab you and punch you like that. And some people talk about stuff. I said, listen to me. There's one line I don't care you can't cross. You bring up my mom's name, you say something about my mom, we fight. I don't care what situation it is. I don't care where you're at. You call me the N-word, we fight. Period. I don't care what you can't. I don't care. You're a fan. You get to say whatever. No, you don't get to say whatever. You can call me by my name. You can say whatever you want to. But you say anything about my mother, you can't call me the N-word. I'm knocking you the hell out. Those are two things that are off limits. But fans feel like they can say whatever they want. No, you can't. Your job is to get in my skin. I get it. But you can say whatever. There's a lot of things you can say. But for you to say something about my mama, or you call me the N-word, we fight. And for DK Metcalf, if that's truly what happened, there shouldn't be any consequences to him whatsoever. And if you white, you for sure can't say nothing, because you white, you have no idea what that means. Now, as far as your mother, now that feels bad about any man. If you allow somebody to say something about your mama, that's on you. But you're not going to say nothing about my mama, and you're not going to call me the N-word. If you do either of those two things, we fight. I'm knocking you the hell out. Period. You don't get to, you as a fan, you pay to get in the game. You can call me trash. You can call me this. You can call me that. You can say, you're overrated. You can say whatever. Like Russell Westbrook, them get all mad and stuff. People, bro, you a brick shooter. You mad because he's telling you the truth. He ain't crossing no line. LeBron got mad when they said something about his kids. You said something about my son? Yes, I'm going to have an issue. I have no problem with that as well. But you should leave family and the N-word out of it. Anything else, hey, you can say what you want to. You get paid. Your job is to distract me. Your job is not to spit on me. Your job to get away with that. Your job is not to call me the N-word and get away with it. Your job is not to say something about my mother or my family. No. You can't. Those are lines that can't be crossed. And you as a fan should be kicked out. Remember Marcus Smart went into the stands? Now, fortunate for me, those things have never happened to me. Okay? I've been called a lot of things, but those two things, at least not that I heard. But, growing up and playing when I played, yes, those things probably were said by somebody. But nowadays, they were a little bit less prevalent than it is now. I'll never forget that. You can ask the commander, Randy Wright. We were playing Nebraska. And Carl Pipe, who's, what was he, 6'9", 270, 60 something. Somebody called him their word when they were in here at Gallagher Ivory. He went up into the stands. There's stuff you can't say. Just because you pay to get into a game doesn't allow you as a fan to say whatever the hell you want. Your family and the N word, those are off limits. Spitting on me, that's off limits. I'm knocking you the hell out. Now, fortunately, I don't play anymore, and those things didn't happen to me. But I have zero issue with him, and nothing should happen to him. Every time I was, no, you can't you can't say stuff like that to me. You can't. I was listening to, I think it was Damian Woody, trying to, no, you offensive lineman, ain't nobody saying that to you. You on the line. Who's gonna talk to you? They ain't talking to you. They're talking to a quarterback. They're talking to a wide receiver. They're talking to a defensive back. They're talking to a great player, defensive end or something like that. Miles Garrett. That's what they talking to. They ain't talking to you. And on top of that, I can't. I really. It's hard for me to believe that somebody can say something about your mama or your kids or call you the N word and you just let it go. I don't. I'm calling BS on that. You're not letting that go. You're not. It's like what Joe Mixon happened to him at OSU. I mean, in Norman, he wasn't even drinking, and somebody was talking about that. I said, "Bro, I have zero issues with that." She slapped him. He didn't do anything. She called him the N word. He didn't do anything. She spit on him. He knocked her the hell out. You can't spit on me. I don't think it's okay if you call me the N word. Okay. Now, if I'm out in the bar, I might say something to you, whatever. But talking about that's happened to me in a bar before, and I'm telling you right now, I got into a fight. I beat the hell out of a dude in a fight. I probably had 3 fights in my life. That was one of them in a bar. He said the N word to me. I knocked him the hell out. They had to pull me off of him. You can't say, there's certain things you can't say to me, especially at a younger age. Now that I'm older, I'm gonna be like, what did you say to me? It depends on the context, depends on what happened, whatever. But when I was younger, yeah, you ain't saying that. Especially I'm playing in my 20s, 30s, yeah, you ain't saying that to me. And I disagree with those guys. Nothing should happen to him if that was what was truly said. I don't want to hear the nonsense about he's a fan. I don't want to hear that. You ain't a fan no more. You can't talk about my mama, my family, and call me the N-word. You can't. That is, you should be kicked out of the gym, and your season tickets you should no longer be allowed in that facility. Period. You're paying for a ticket. You are allowed to say certain things. You're allowed to curse at me. You're allowed to say I'm trash. You're allowed to say I'm a bum. You're allowed to say I'm a brick shooter. You're allowed to say I can't play. Whatever. You can say whatever you want because that's your job. But you can't cross the line and be okay. You can't. That can't be okay. And as a man, I hope you, as any dude that's listening to this right now, if somebody says something about your family, that's gonna be okay with you. I'm talking about the white guys because that's the only. If they spit on you, that's okay with you. As a black guy, I'm gonna tell you right now, you do any of that, we fight. Most of the black men I know, we fight. You can't. I don't care because of this. America's being so weird the way it is right now, where they're letting everything go. That's fine. No, it's not cool. It's not cool for you to be able to do that, and you shouldn't be able to allow. You shouldn't be allowed to say whatever the hell you want. You can't. So I have no problem with DK Metcalf. Hey, baby, what you want? I know I've been gone all day. I know. Here, baby. You're a good boy. Yes, I love you. Here. It's my boy Ace. Yeah, I've been gone all. I had my basketball camp today, so I've been gone since early this morning. But anyway, that being said, I have no problem. I don't think anything should happen to him. Everybody talks about that. You as a fan, you have a responsibility. You as a man, you have a responsibility. You should know you can't cross that line. If you do, there's consequences. It's not okay. Nothing should happen to DK Metcalf if that's truly what was said. The fan said, "Oh, I just called him by his government name." Really? He grabbed you, punched you because you called him by his government name. Really? What a freaking joke. Let me calm down and get off my high horse right now. Let's talk about the Thunder. Thunder lost again to the Grizzlies. I mean, to the T Wolves, and it was part two of what we saw the other night. Thunder lose 107-111, and it's what we saw the other night. And the other lost 2 games ago, and then I lost 2 out of their last 3. It's boxing out, up 1, misses a free throw. You can't box out. You can't get the offensive rebound or the defensive rebound. It cost you against the Spurs. Wemby went over J-Dub's back because he didn't box out, went right over the top, but it's hard. How does J-Dub go? J-Dub is what, 6'7"? Wemby 7'4". You can't just let him push you around. You got to push him back, or you got to double him or something. But Wemby got his hands on the ball. They got the shot, got the foul. That was the ball game. Same thing happened the other night. Rudy Gobert gets the rebound over Chet. Ant-Man hits a 3. Then he blocks Shea's shot. Then he steals the ball from Shea. Or slaps the ball away. So great sequence by Ant-Man and what he had to do. But the Thunder, I've been harping on this since the Dallas game 2 years ago. We lost that game. Game 6. Up 1. Jay Will doesn't box out. Washington gets his hands on the ball and gets fouled, knocks down 3 free throws. They go up 2. Our coach challenged it for whatever reason. Still, to me, to this day, I don't understand. I still don't get that, but whatever. Anyway, T-Wolves now 18-10. T-Wolves 13 out of 37 for 37%. The Thunder 11 for 39. 37% over field. Those are 2 things that we've got. When we shoot 30%, we're not beating anybody. Did the same thing against San Antonio. We're not beating anybody. If we can't score, your defense can only take you so far. You've got to be able to score the basketball. You got to be able to score the basketball. What were we, 9 for 37? So the 2 of our losses, we are, 20 for 78? 20 for 78? And both of your losses, 20 for 78 for 3. You're not beating anybody. Got rebounded by 5. Pips points in the paint. We did our usual thing, holding them to 34 points, 40 for us. And then turnovers, we only turned them over 13 times. They don't have a point guard. We only turned them over 13 times. They don't have a point guard. Their bench outscored us by 1. And when you look at the box score, here you go. Ihart, 1 point, 28 minutes, 0 for 2. He's got to be more involved in the offense. Of course, now this is only us playing at full strength, another thing. The 2 games that we've been full strength with, SGA, J-Dub, Dort, Ihart, and Chet, we're 0-2. And I was talking to Commander about this, Randy Wright. He goes, well, we just haven't had a chance to play together. The coach doesn't know how to substitute. I go, he didn't know how to substitute anyway. Granted, it is weird not knowing how to do it, but I mean, you played J-Dub too long, then you take him out in the fourth quarter for a couple of minutes, you waited too late to put SGA in. You can't, in 50-50 games, you can't treat all games in 50-50 games like every other game. Can't do it. It's a 50-50 game. Tonight you can do whatever because we should beat them. It's still going to be, they're not like a walkover, but, we just lost, so we're going to come back. What happened after we lost to San Antonio? We beat the brakes off the Clippers. Now you got another break, and you got a chance to play them before we play San Antonio tomorrow on a back-to-back night. We played the Clippers, beat the crap out of them, back-to-back. You got to go to Minnesota, you lose. You turn around, you play the Grizzlies tonight, you blow them out. Tomorrow night, you got to go play that. Now, when you look at us being 9-3, well, let me go through this and then I'll go back on that. Chet, 25 minutes, 14 points, 4 for 9. Chet played okay. No complaints. SGA, 37 minutes, 35 points, 12 for 26, 3 for 7. Come on, brother. 3 turnovers, including that one at the end. And then he made one dribble one off his leg, which When the last time that happened, you know, Aaron Wiggins didn't play. Kind of hurt us a little bit not having him in there. We need him as our seventh guy. Lou Dort, there's no world I live in. Like I said on After the Storm the other night, I want Lou Dort shooting 12 times. I don't live in that world. 7 times is what I want. 6 to 7, 8 max, and he better be on if he's shooting 8 times. But we get an extra year, misses a shot, gets a shot block, we get the ball. He's wide open for three. So is J Dub, and so was Caruso, I believe. He takes the shot, which whatever, and he shoots another brick. And those are things. Pat, bro, you wide open, kick it to somebody who's a better 3-point shooter than you. J Dub's right there shooting 40%. Give it to J Dub. And you'll shoot Lewis shooting 20 whatever percent past the ball, but he's not gonna. He's gonna take his shot. J Dub, 32 minutes, 17 points, 6 for 16, 2 for 4. He's like 2 for 4 for 3. That's just, 6 for 16. Once again, he didn't have, Robin did not have a good game, and it cost us. Caruso, 23 minutes, 7 points, 1 for 6, bro. You got to knock down your threes. K. Rich, 5 minutes. Joe, 13 minutes. And another thing, why are you starting Isaiah Joe? Every time you start him and break up our starting lineup and you change when it's not Caruso or it's not Kaysen, when you're not starting Ihart, it screws us up. You're trying to win for offense instead of defense. You got to be able to slow them down and stop them, and that did not happen. Once again, I don't know. I'm a huge Isaiah Joe fan, but you can't start him during the second half or in the game. Can't. Bring him off the bench. Bring him off the bench. I love him off the bench. Not so much starting the first half and the second half. I'm not a fan. Uh, Here's our next 5 games, or we have 4 games left out of 6. I thought we would go 5-1, 4-2 at the absolute worst. Is what I would think. But I thought we'd go 5-1, the worst, 4-2 in our 6, and right now we're 1-1. We play the Grizzlies tonight, which we must take care of on Peacock, and then for whatever reason they have the game on Peacock tonight, and tomorrow night game is not on ESPN. What is that about? Or on Peacock or whoever. So what the hell is that about? How the hell you not gonna have the Spurs and Thunder on Wimby and Chet? How are they not on every time they play? That's just ludicrous. Now, I guess you don't want to put them on 2 games in a row. Why not? Why not? Come on, NBA. Why not? So you got the Grizzlies tonight, which will win, so we should be 2-1. Tomorrow night I was supposed to go to the game, but I can't because I've got to work and get a bunch of stuff done to the gym on Wednesday. So there's no way for me to drive down there and to turn around and come back and then have to spend 4 hours in the gym. I'm not cleaning, doing much stuff. I guess I could on Friday. I guess I could always go down tomorrow, but I can't on Friday because I'll be in Houston. So that's not happening then either. Uh, the Spurs on the 25th, and then we turn around and we play the Sixers on FanDuel the 28th. Crazy. Crazy, crazy, crazy. I don't get it. I really don't understand it. I don't get it. But we got to handle our business tonight. The Spurs game is going to be hard, but they've already beaten us once. So to me, you need to beat them tomorrow. We need to beat them tomorrow night, and we need to beat them on Christmas to go up 2-1. And he's like, that's how I look at it. Okay, I think you need to, because we gave them that game. But like I said, that loss happened in the second quarter, up 16. Chet goes out. They make a 13-0 run. SGA doesn't touch the ball last minute and something. Coach don't say, call, slow the ball down, get the ball to SGA. Didn't do it. Didn't do it. Once again, not understanding the flow of the game, not getting it. Like I said, no other coach would have done that. Okay? No other NBA coach is going to go a minute and 20 seconds that Jokic doesn't touch the ball. That Steph Curry's not has the ball in his hands. Everybody else is going to slow the ball down. They're on a roll. Slow it down. Let's get a bucket. Slow the game down. Let's get one. Let's waste some time. Put the ball in SJ's hands. Go. Or put the ball in Steph's hands. Or put the ball in Ant's hands. Or put the ball in Giannis's hands. Or put the ball in Jokic. Put the ball in Jalen Williams or Jalen Brown's hands for Boston. Or Luca's hands for LA. You're not going to let him keep running. No, stop. Don't run. Stop. Let's go. Put the ball in his hands. And then, of course, it is what it is. And it's our coach. People get mad at me all the time, but unlike y'all, I have evidence right here that I have marked down when he subs, what the deal is, what the timetable is, right here. So I have evidence that backs up everything I'm talking about. You can hate me all you want to. You can call me whatever the hell you want. Unlike you, I have evidence to back up everything that I am saying. Evidence. Not texture, not talk, not conjecture. Evidence. Here's the date. Here's the time. Here's the score. Here's the lineup. Here's the score. Here's the time. Here's the lineup. It's documented exactly what the score is and what he does and what happens every time he does it. And all I'm saying is what I'm saying is facts. I got facts backing me up. But that being said, hey, this is the toughest part of our schedule. But we're still 9-3 in clutch games. They're 7-6 in clutch games. Talk about the T Wolves. But we're going to get everybody's best shot because of us being the champions. That's why it's so hard to repeat. You get everybody's best shot. But we're blowing teams out. We don't have it like it's 9-3. I'm like, okay, we had some tough games early and we were used to it. Then we start blowing people out. SGA hasn't played in what is it, 14 or 15 fourth quarters that he hasn't played in the fourth quarter. I mean, that's crazy. He can't play in fourth quarters. How the hell you gonna beat somebody? How the hell you gonna beat somebody? Then it's they go on a 8-0 run, up 107, 103, go on an 8-0 run on us. When's the last time that happened? Once again, into the second quarter against Spurs, into the game against Minnesota. It is what it is, and we've got to regroup from that, which we will. Not worried about that at all. Let's take a break. Thank our sponsors, SRB. If you have needs for engineering, surveying, and planning, hit these guys up. They love to take care of you. If you have a water treatment plant in your city or county, Mark and the boys would love to make sure that everything is fantastic and you have clean drinking water. Or Grove Trucking, if you have needs for dirt, rock, or sand to be moved, those are the peeps to talk to about that. Call my boy Jose. He'll take care of you. YNB, family owned and operated since 1912. They are the bank that makes things happen. They're an equal housing lender and a member of the FDIC. Proud sponsor for us to go out and support women, minority, and black-owned businesses in the OKC area. You can pre-qualify online at www.ynbok.com. That's www.ynbok.com. Or go into one of their 5 locations. The main bank at 401 M, 66 steps from historic downtown Yukon, Oklahoma, and also 66 steps from historic U.S. Route 66. YB East was off the Parkway and 39th Expressway or US 66. YB Mustang, 218 North Mustang Road. YB Parkway, which is off Garth Brooks, and I-40, just south of I-40, right in front of the Fairfield, not the Fairmont Hotel. And the YB People's located in Bethany on 23rd between Rockwell and MacArthur. And the best smelling cologne, man, the House of Creed, handcrafted since 1760. Can't say enough about how good it is. It just smells so fantastic. Got some on right now. Got the Aventus on right now. I believe I have Aventus on at the moment. So at Penn Square Mall, you can go to the East Dillards, which is the men's department. West Dillards is the women's department. As we always say, remember, pick the best for your best. That's what we always say, and you should do that. They are fantastic. It is so good, guys. I promise you. Go get you some Creed. It is delish, delish, delish. Now back to the NBA, we've got when you look at the game tonight, the Thunder, and once again we just talked about how the Thunder are blowing teams out. SGA not playing in the fourth quarter. Okay, in our game tonight, you look at what the Thunder are up and what the spread is, which is crazy. Now look at the spread. I'm like, is this real? I'm like, seriously? This is the Thunder game. Here's the deal. 15.5 point favorites. 15.5 point favorites. It really is. It's crazy. Excuse me. $15.5 point favorites. That's just crazy. 230.5 is the over under, which when you look at that, you think, man, how bad are the Thunder going to beat them? And we have done that. Once again, as Shea doesn't play in the fourth quarter, we don't get used. I'd rather the game be tight in SGA, and we get used to playing in the fourth quarter. We need to be able to play in the fourth quarter, even though I think it's amazing we need to play in the fourth quarter. You can't be playing games where you're beating the crap out of people, and you're not used to pressure situations. Even though we're 9-3, I just look at it like, well, 9-3 in clutch games, okay. So we're 25-8, 25-3. So out of 28 games, we've had 12 clutch games. 12. So 16 games we've blown the hell out of blown teams out in 16 games. It's just it's just pathetic. And the winning average is 16.9. That's what we're winning by. It's just crazy. And SGA didn't score for the first time in a quarter, third quarter, because he only got in there with the 5 minutes to go in the third quarter. Once again, coach is doing his thing. Did not score in the fourth quarter. Can't do it. We got to have him get in earlier. And I understand you're trying to make the season long. I understand all that. I mean, I get it. But I'm like, man, we've got to play together more, and he's got to play more. He just does. Here's the shooting percentage as of today. This is up to date. SGA 32 points a game, 32.5, shooting 50% from the field, 43% from three, 88% from the line. He's got to get that up to 90%. I want him to do 50, 40, 90. 30 points, 50% from the field, 40% from three, 90% from the line. 50, 40, 90. That's what I want from him. Because if he does that, there's no, how are you voting for anybody else for MVP? If we blowing the socks off everybody and where he's doing 50, 40, 90, hadn't played in 20 something fourth quarters, how's he not the unanimous MVP? That's you being biased. That's all that is. Like when Steph won it, there was no question. If he does 30 points, 50% shooting, 40% from three, 90% from the line, he's unanimous MVP. It's stupid that he can't be. I mean, how are you voting for somebody else? That's just either you racist or you pathetic. One or the other. Chet, 18.7 points a game, 52% from the field, 39 from three, 80% from the line. Chet's just cruising right along, doing good. J Dub, 17.6, 45% from the field, 40% from three. Stats slowly coming back up, 90% from the line, like his stat line. Love it. Love it. AJ Mitchell, 14 points a game, uh, 46% from the field, 34 from three. Like I said, bro, you've got to be able to knock down more threes. Because if AJ is knocking down threes and he's shooting at the 40 something percent mark because he's shooting wide open, okay, he's shooting wide open. If he can get him to where he's doing that, that's gonna make all the difference to what the Thunder can do as a team if he's knocking down that because he's wide open. To me, instead of when you're on the floor with SGA, bro, he's going to get you the ball. All you got to do is knock down the three. He will get you the ball. Knock down the three. You're wide open. Instead of you trying to jump, go to the basket, do all that, you need to develop, over the summer to me, as the things he need to do is develop a right hand and his three-point shooting. So if he does both of those, I believe that what he will do for us this year will be crazy, what he'll do this year if he could just do those two things. Knock down his 3-point shooting and find the right hand. If he does those, he's going to be even more unstoppable than he already is. Isaiah Joe, 12.6 points a game, 46% from the field, 43 from three, 90% from the line. Those are good numbers. Good numbers. Wiggins, 12.3 points a game, 45% from the field, 40% from three. He needs to be a little bit higher from three, but I'm not going to cry about it at all. I'm not crying over spilled milk. Wiggins, I need him to shoot more threes. Let's try to go to the basket, do all that. I understand he wants to develop his overall game. I get all that. But you can't give away possessions, as I've said many, many times. Giving away possessions are bad for you from the simple fact when you give away possessions late in the game, when the game is tight, you got to go back to those 3 or 4 possessions that you gave away that you didn't need to or that you shouldn't have. Those are what cost games. It's the possessions you give away in the second quarter, in the first quarter, second quarter, where you're playing crazy lineups and you're giving away 3 or 4 possessions, 5 possessions. You're giving them away because of your lineups. Those are the things that cost you down the stretch. Instead of you're up 1, you'd be up 5 or 6. Instead of being down 3, you're up 1. Those things matter. It matters, guys. Isaiah Hartenstein, 11.6 points a game, 65% from the field, shooting his floaters the way he shoots them. It's just so nice not having to hear the Thunder broadcast, not having to hear the word push shot. It is so nice, guys. Isn't it nice that people actually know what the hell they're talking about? Love the fact that they know what they're talking about. It's great. It is so fantastic. Wallace, oh, by the way, Isaiah Hartenstein, 63% from the field. Free throw. Bro, can't have you in the game. You missed a huge, we went 1 for 2 the other night. Can't have you on the floor at the end of the fourth quarter if you're not knocking down free throws. If you're shooting 75, 80%, man, love to have you on the floor, but you can't. Can't have him on the floor if he's not knocking down free throws. He's got to be able to do that. Casey Wallace, 8 points a game, 42% from the field, 35 from 3, 82% from the line. Like his numbers, we need to pay that young man, and we will. Dort, 7.7, 35, 29. Unacceptable. You're wide open, 29%. You got to get that up. Caruso, 5.8, 40% from the field, 33.3, 83, but 33% from the field from 3. That needs to be up to around 38. You're wide open when you shoot him. You got to knock down threes. If that's not really his deal, still, if you're knocking down threes, which he does late, he misses them early, but he usually doesn't really miss them in the fourth quarter. Knock on wood. Hopefully he continues to do that. Jay Will, bro, 35% from the field, 29 from 3. You're wide open. You got to knock down threes. You got to knock down 3. K. Rich, his numbers are not bad. 5 points a game, 47%, 41%. Didn't play a whole lot against Minnesota. I would have liked to see him play more in that game. I just would have. Okay? I just would have. I'd like to see him play more. But all that being said, you look at what we are. We're 25-3. You have a 4-game lead in the West, and the West is just tight. The 2 through 5 and 6 especially 2 through 5. It's Spurs, Nuggets, Lakers, Rockets. Then it's Rockets, Nuggets, Spurs, Lakers. Then it's Nuggets, Lakers, Spurs, Rockets. Then it's then it's Nuggets, Spurs, Rockets, Lakers. Then it's Nuggets, Lakers, Spurs, Rockets. They just keep bouncing back and forth between them on who is doing what. And when you look at that, it makes all the difference in the world. Here the NBA standing, so you'll see what I'm talking about. The East cannot be bigger than the West. That's not happening. But like I said, look at that. Spurs 21-7, Nuggets 20-7, Lakers 19-8, the T-Wolves 19-10, the Rockets 17-9. The T-Wolves have slid in there now. There's basically 2 games separating them. 2 games separating 2 through 6. It's crazy when you look at what these teams are doing. You look at how tough the West is. And when you look over the East, the Knicks are right there. Different coach, playing a bunch of players, not wearing his players out. They're still records about the same. They're still the top of the conference. The Celtics are the team that's crazy because Missoula was the coach who came in, didn't know what he was doing. They had to give him some support staff the second year. They win the chip. And then last year, him doing more coaching on his own, they struggled a bit. Of course, Jason Tatum went down. And then after that, this year is just a remarkable coaching job by him. They're 17-11. Jaylen Brown is showing why he should be considered one of the top 10 players of the NBA, which he is to me, or top 12, 11. He's right there. They're all right there. Right now, I need to redo my list of that group. But the West. Now, we play the Grizzlies. They're 13 and 15. They're in ninth place. But the Warriors, not a worry. The Suns, not really a worry. But the Rockets, the T Wolves, the Lakers, Nuggets, Spurs, they're all right there together. And remember, we beat the Rockets, and we beat the Lakers. And we've lost to the Spurs, and we've lost to the Rockets. Lost to the, excuse me, we've lost to the Spurs and lost to the T Wolves, and they beat the Lakers and beat the Rockets. And remember, it's about matchups, guys. It's all about matchups. Who you play, when you play them. Who do you see? That's what it comes down to. That's what it comes down to. It comes down to matchups. It really, truly does. Who do you want to see win? And let's face it, you know, I don't want to see the Rockets and Spurs back to back. I want to see one or the other. But if you got the Spurs and the Nuggets going at it, who would win that game at 2 and 3 right now? Then 4, 5, and 6, would it be the Lakers, T Wolves, and Rockets? Would the Rockets would come out of it? Because you got to look at it this way. Right now, the way it stands, the Thunder would play the Warriors, the Spurs would play the Suns, the Nuggets and Rockets. And then the winner of that would have to play the winner of would have to play the Spurs again, if the way it is. So the Rockets or the Nuggets would have a tough game, then turn around and play another tough game, and then have us sitting there. They're going to be exhausted because those are 7 games, knockdown, drag out fights, is what those are. And we're sitting there with only the winner of the Lakers and T Wolves. That would be beautiful for us. That would be beautiful for us the way it sits right now. Beautiful for us to figure out how that went. I would think that the Spurs would come out of that if you ask me. Right now, I think the Spurs would come out of that grouping or how that works. And then on the other side, you've got the Pistons just dominating, kind of. The Knicks are doing what they do. And then after that, it's just, who do you like? You like the Celtics? You like the Sixers? We need the Sixers to lose more. We need them to drop because we have their pick. So we need them to be anything after 4, which they're okay. We need them to be what? We get their pick as long as I think it's protected. 4 and under is protected. So right now, the way they're playing, we should be safe in getting their pick. They, like a top 6 or 7 pick. We'd like to have 2, theirs and the Clippers. So we're sitting there with 2 opportunities. Wouldn't it be nice if we get the number 1, number 2 pick? What would you do? What would you do? If you're the Thunder, you get their pick, the Sixers pick, and you get the Clippers pick, and then in the draft, in the drawing, you get 1, 2, the first and second overall pick. What the hell do you do? I mean, what the hell do you do? To me, you've gotta get a big. So the Boozer kid, Cameron Boozer, I'm a big fan. You gotta take him. And then after that, what do you do? Take another 6, 7, 6. The kid at Utah. You take the kid out of Camp. Who do you take after that? Because if you take either one of those, and you take the Boozer kid, the Boozer hopefully can replace iHeart because he can make free throws. He can shoot the 3. He's physical. He can play inside. So you'd have him. And then the problem is after that, who are you going to go get? Because remember, you have SGA, you have J-Dub, you have Kaysen, you have Dort, and you have Caruso. That's your middle there. Do you get one of those guys to replace uh, Wiggins? What do you do at that point? I don't know. Those are terrible problems to have. Terrible problems for the best GM in the NBA to have. Who do we pick? What do we do? I say you get that ends. I'd say you go get a shooter. You need a shooter. That's what we need. We need a shooter. We need a legitimate shooter that can play D. And both of those kids, either the Kansas kid or the Utah kid, both or BYU, both of those kids can go. So I'm okay with that. So that being said, I hope everybody's having a fantastic day. I got to get out of here. I've got some stuff I've got to get ready for camp tomorrow. Because I got some kids coming in, so I got to get my stuff ready for tomorrow for camp. And Like I said, his second day of camp is tomorrow, so I've got a bunch of stuff I've got to get done today, and get that squared away. So that being said, plus I got some Christmas shopping to do for the little dude to get him squared, little G, get him squared and ready to go. That being said, hey, everybody have a fantastic day. Remember, 2025 World Champions. Let's repeat. Peace out. Have a good one. Merry